The highly anticipated Star Wars Squadrons is finally here, and since the very first trailer was released, I was instantly hooked. And the anticipation was brutal. Once I got my hands on it, I started to wonder if this game was worth all the hype that it got for the past few months, or if it was just another Star Wars disappointment created by EA Games. What's up everyone and welcome to a new video. My name is Omar with Real Gamer Review, and today I'll be reviewing Star Wars Squadrons. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video and turn on the bell icon to see more videos like this one. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first feeling you will instantly get when booting this game and playing it is that they nailed the Star Wars space combat feeling, whether you are playing with the Republic or the Empire. They really succeeded in delivering the feeling of the cockpit correctly, and I'll be talking more about that particular part later throughout the review. Star Wars Squadrons has a 7 to 8 hours campaign. The story is set after the Battle of Endor and the destruction of the second Death Star. The story alternates between two pilots from the New Republic's Vanguard Squadron and the Empire's Titan Squadron. You begin the game by customizing both characters, which is a nice addition, but I felt it's a bit meaningless as you won't see their faces again for almost the entire game. The only thing that mattered a bit from the customization part is choosing their voices, as you will hear them speaking quite often throughout the game.
Stay on target. We're too close. Stay on target. Loosen up!
Anyways, after you finish that customization part, you will dive straight into the story through a variety of different missions, and the game will be switching you between both sides through the campaign. Sometimes every level you would be switched, and sometimes every few levels. I won't get into much details about the story itself for the sake of avoiding spoilers, but I would say it is a pretty decent story that I've enjoyed. And I've really liked how the developers of the game kept jumping between the Republic and the Empire, sometimes playing the same setup of the level but from different angles, showing each side's different perspective for the overall ongoing battle between them. An important point that I would like to mention: not all missions are just dogfights as some people think. There are a lot of different types of levels through the game which contain bombing and destroying larger ships. Not to the extent of a Death Star, but what I can say is that you will get some very interesting missions which are reminiscent to the films. So as I mentioned before, EA succeeded in this game to deliver the pilot feeling in each and every spaceship that you will pilot in this game, especially in that one mission that begins with you getting into the X-Wing and firing it up to start your mission. So mainly for the campaign and missions part, I would easily say that it is a job well done from EA. As for the gameplay feel itself, I think the best way to describe it that it is a mix between Elite Dangerous and Ace Combat 7. It takes the overall feel and looks of space from a very similar perspective to Elite Dangerous, of course minus the amount of exploration, as Squadrons is different levels with a limited exploration option. And it takes that overall feel and adds on it the very fast-paced dogfights from Ace Combat 7, which is honestly a great mixture if you are into both of those games, and of course if you are a fan of Star Wars in general. If you've seen a few trailers and thought that this is a pure arcade game, then I'm sorry to tell you that this is not entirely accurate. Maybe when it comes to the overall handling of the spaceships, it's a bit arcadey, yes, but the game has a rewardingly deep engine power management, weaponry options, and tricky flying techniques to master. Let me explain that real quick. So in the game you will have the option of making the overall power of the spaceship you are piloting to target one specific feature between engine, which will give you more speed and a boost option, diverting the power to the lasers, which will give you more firepower and a lot more shots before it needs to recharge, and lastly the shields, which as the name suggests, it will make it withstand more hits before failing. As for the ship's handling itself, yes, it's a bit arcadey, but still a bit different than other games, so it has a bit of a learning curve to master it. One other nice addition that I've liked is the variety of the spaceships that you get to play with during the campaign and also choose from in the multiplayer. What also appealed to me, especially in this edition, is that most of those spaceships were in at least one of the Star Wars movies. For example, you have the famous X-Wing that was piloted by Luke Skywalker, the iconic TIE Interceptor that was piloted by Darth Vader, New Republic bombers, the Y-Wing which showed in one of the movies as well, and a few more, and you get to play with all of them throughout the campaign. You can also customize your ship's weapons, shields, and engine through different options at a certain point during the campaign, before starting the levels, and of course in the multiplayer as well. It is not a complicated customization option, but rather a simple, straight-to-the-point one, but it might take just a bit of testing to find your preferred set for your ship. There is a small visual customization option if you would like to use it as well. One great addition is that you can play this game with a flight joystick or HOTAS, and the game supports a different number of them. A very welcomed addition, as this game is very enjoyable if you own one, as it helps with delivering the feeling of the pilot through the game. I absolutely loved the multiplayer, but I was a bit annoyed by it, and I'll explain why. The two main multiplayer modes in Squadrons are dogfights, a team deathmatch type game mode which is very straightforward, and fleet battles, a multi-stage objective-based mode focused on taking down the enemy's flagship. Fleet battles is the main mode for Squadrons multiplayer. Two teams go head-to-head with the ultimate goal of taking down the other's capital ship. However, both teams must go through the other defensive line of fighters, corvettes, and frigates in order to make the final approach. Each side must work to boost their morale in order to push the front line forward. Each kill gives a morale boost, while each death takes some away. A fleet battle begins with an initial dogfight. The winner gets a morale boost that moves them to the next phase, while the opposing team has to pull back and defend their frigates, as the frigates keep the front line away from your capital ship while also providing a resupply point during the attack phases. Losing one has real cost and can make attacking the enemy's flagship much more challenging. Everything is good till now, and probably you are asking yourself, then what is the issue with the multiplayer? I will tell you right now. The issue is that those are the only two modes available in the multiplayer. The multiplayer simply has the best Star Wars spaceship battles we were always dreaming about, but at the same time, it has only two modes. 3 if you add the mode which you play against the AI, which I won't put of course. And what disappointed me a bit more is that there was some official news a few days ago from EA Games that they are not adding any more content to the game. I'm not sure if that's for the game overall or they just mean the single player part. I certainly hope that they mean the single player part only and they make some future additions to the multiplayer. First time I saw the gameplay for Star Wars Squadrons in the gameplay trailers, I didn't believe it. I thought that it was some sort of a trick to market the game and then those visuals will be downgraded when we receive the final product, but I'm glad I was wrong. This game is simply breathtaking. The engine EA Games used to develop this game, I think it just reached its peak right here in this game. The game looks amazing and so realistic, and what is really impressive about it is that it is not as demanding as other games, as you don't need a super PC to be able to run the game, and even on consoles. It is running very smoothly on the Xbox One and PS4, with of course some slight advantages for the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which are able to run the game on 60 frames per second, which I thought was really impressive as those consoles are at the end of their life cycle. If you would like to check a good full visuals and frame rates comparison, I would recommend to watch Digital Foundry's video about this game, which I will be linking in the description below. Also, this game supports VR both on PS4 and PC, which I haven't tried myself as I don't have any VRs, but based on people's feedback through various videos I've watched, everyone is praising it and giving pretty good reviews and feedback about it. So overall, for the graphics and visual department, I would say it is simply spectacular. I always find this part a bit tricky to explain, as I can't let you listen to any music from the game because of YouTube and the copyrights, but what I can say is that the game has a lot of Star Wars original soundtracks, which is amazing and definitely adds to the experience, especially with the amazing sound effects that are almost identical to the movies, with the laser beams shooting from the ships, the engine sounds of the spaceships themselves, especially the TIE Fighter. The first time you will hear how it sounds in the game, you will be simply amazed. So, in a nutshell, they did a spectacular job when it comes to this part as well. And here's a few clips so you can hear some of those sound effects yourselves.
I'm telling you, we can't lose.
What are you? Come on.
We're losing too much. Hold them off, Vanguard.
Good takedown, Vanguard 1.
Imperial Raider, destroy. Vanguard, defend.
This game is epic and I loved every moment of playing it. EA Games did an amazing job of putting you in the pilot's shoes, and it just gives you the feel of the X-Wing or the TIE Fighter you control under your fingertips, with all the very realistic looks and details that every ship has, and how you move between the New Republic and the Empire in different levels in a smooth way to see the different perspectives. The game also did an amazing job when it comes to the multiplayer, although I was looking forward for a bit more multiplayer modes, but I'm still okay with the available ones compared to the overall price of the game. I would recommend eyes closed that you get your hands on and play this game if you are a Star Wars and space battle games fan, as it is easily one of the best games that was released in 2020. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to watch more videos like this one.